Credit invoice. This tutorial will address the following: creating a credit invoice directly from an invoice, creating a credit invoice with one item returned, and having to delete a payment and then applying a credit invoice. Creating a credit invoice from an invoice. To create a credit invoice, click on Auto Glass Quote and then click on the Open button at the top of the screen. At the lookup screen, at Type from the drop-down, select Invoice. Select an invoice. The invoice will be displayed. For this example, we will be crediting the entire invoice. At Document Type from the drop-down, select Credit Invoice. Click on Save and the credit invoice will be saved. The Apply Credit screen will be displayed with the credit invoice number and the invoice number. Click on Apply. The credit will be applied to the invoice. To apply a partial credit to an invoice, click on the Auto Glass Quote, click on Open button, and at the drop-down select Invoice and then select your invoice. The invoice will be displayed. First, you will need to click on the Unlock Prices icon. Delete the windshield part number by highlighting and then clicking on the Delete icon. At Document Type, select Credit Invoice. Then click on the Save icon. The Apply Credits screen will show the credit invoice number and the invoice number. Click on Apply. If you need to apply a credit to an invoice where payment may have already been made, you are able to delete the payment and apply a credit. Click on Utilities, Delete Options, Delete Payments. Click on the three dots icon to look up an invoice, select the invoice, and then click on the Payment button. The payments for the invoice will be displayed. Select the payment to delete. Click on the Delete icon and say yes, that you want to delete the payment. The credit invoice was created and saved earlier but not applied. To apply a credit invoice, click on Utilities, Invoice File, Apply Credits. Enter the credit number for the credit invoice, an invoice number, type in the invoice number. Then click Apply. The credit invoice will be applied to the invoice. To unapply a credit, click on Utilities, Invoice File, Apply Credits. At Credit Number, click on the three dots icon to look up a credit invoice. Double-click on the invoice to select. Look up an invoice number. Click on Unapply, and the credit will be unapplied from this invoice.